Humanoid robots can now use tools, complete household chores without someone controlling their every movement, and understand and imitate human facial expressions. And in China, two full sized robots fought until one had its head kicked off. And it kept fighting. Artificial intelligence is no longer confined to a screen. We are giving it hands, strength, and the ability to move through the same world we do. The real question is, what happens once these machines leave the laboratory and become part of everyday life? See, this is actually really impressive. The fact that it can apply enough pressure to pull the grape off, but not too much to squish the grape, is incredible.
And it plays with Legos.
It's precise enough to do that. It can play video games.
I bet it's great at that.
See, it like knows how much pressure to use for things. It can grab Funyuns out of a bag without cracking them.
Wow.
It can plug itself in.
Whoa.
Wow. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
This is just a new release too, so the robots now are getting really advanced to the point where it's kind of a lot scarier than before when they used to just talk about this stuff.
What could go wrong?
A lot could go wrong. Here, I have a question here. The human hand was one of the biggest limitations in robotics, but now that a robot can use almost every object and tool designed for us humans, what is actually left stopping them from doing nearly any physical job?
Yeah.
Because
well, I think on construction sites, there's a lot of times there's obstacles and things, everything's not nice and neat. It can be a little chaotic. And I think that's probably one of the last jobs that will be gone is construction, not the tilt up kind of construction. That'll be really easy probably, but just the random carpentry and that kind of construction.
it almost seems like that is far closer than we once thought, though. Because I remember you'd always say that. You'd always say, like, oh, construction's a great line to be in.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be taken so soon. But now if they're building robots that are effectively designed like humans, then they can fit into human scenarios the way that we do and use human tools. And it seems like even construction now is going to be gone very soon. Like, why would a company not just buy a bunch of robots and never have to pay for human labor again? It's like a one-time cost, and then it's just all profit from there.
It was surprising how the dexterity of that thing. I mean, did you see where like the fingers went backwards?
Back
it was
ours.
like it was more. I mean, it could do more than people.
Yeah. So it's like it's designed in the way that humans are designed, but then on top of that, it can push the limits that we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're already much stronger than us as well. So
guy was hitting it with a hammer.
Yeah, and he was
trying to make it mad, I guess. I don't know.
I think it was just I hope he told him beforehand what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the robot might get mad and just grab him by the throat.
Oh, man. That would not be good.
No, it would not be good. But it's actually, it raises the question that if they can already do stuff like that, it's got to be only years away from taking construction jobs as well. And if AI is so much smarter than us, it's just going to be less time than that to take office jobs, and it's what jobs are going to be left for us.
Right. I don't know.
That's
sitting here talking about it. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. But I was even listening last night to a I don't know if it was recent, but it was from Elon Musk, and I think he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about how later there's not going to be really phones the same way that there are today, and it's just going to be an AI agent that is interacting with a screen that you have, and then with like its source information coming from a computer somewhere else or whatever, and it'll just be able to generate anything that you ever want. So it's like it will know you better than you know yourself, and then it'll understand, oh, let's just show him this today. So like even stuff like this might be gone in a couple of years. Elon said 5 or 6 years. I don't think it's that close. I think he's usually pretty off on his time estimates, but he's right on the actual conclusion of where things are headed.
Yeah. I thought he was kind of conservative. Things have happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, but not. I think the questions that have been asked towards him of like the life-changing things, most of them haven't occurred yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like even 5 years ago, we were saying, "Oh, like AI is going to be completely taking over in 5
Well,
years."
there's people right now that don't have jobs because of AI.
Yeah.
And so it's happening. To them, it's here. It's already here.
For me, it's honestly terrifying because
Yeah.
I have to grow up in this and I have to figure out a way to make money. But how am I going to make money if nobody's going to hire me? Because why would anybody hire you? Because you need to get a job
Yeah.
that AI can do better, and they could just pay a one-time fee for it. Especially if they're creating robots at like unbelievable scales, and it's like maybe the price of a car. Why would you not buy a car instead of a human labor that you'd have to repeatedly pay
Right.
over and over and over again?
Yeah, I think people kind of jobs maybe are the last thing that, and I could see a whole renaissance of things that people want that are personalized. People kind of, I want a piece of furniture that's built by hand or whatever. I kind of see, because there's some kind of impersonalness of what's going on.
Yeah.
Although I did talk to an AI agent on for
SpaceX, right?
space. No, it was for the
For the internet, Starlink.
Starlink, and she was great. She
Why are you saying she?
well, it was
It was
but,
great.
Well, it was a woman's voice, right? And she was so accommodating, so pleasant, answered she knew everything. And it was like, customer service experience generally is a lot of times it's hit and miss. This was like the best experience ever with that. And so I don't know. Maybe we won't miss the personal touch.
Honestly, I think you might have things backwards in the way that you think that physical jobs might be the last to go. They might be the first to go. Because
Really?
think about how AI works today. If you ask it a bunch of questions, like inevitably it's going to get something very wrong. It's going to get something very wrong.
Yeah.
But if you program a robot to act in a certain way and it's already like, oh, why, like it works good enough to replace a human, then that could be gone far before someone trusts it, like dealing with data or like programming something where it could make a huge mistake on a system that would be catastrophic. So people might trust it in physical jobs way more and way sooner than it would trust it with its financing or its programming skills.
Well, I've used it on the job for development purposes when there is some type of technology that has to talk to another one, and I need to find out, okay, what's the best interface for this? How do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it inevitably gets it wrong the first time. It apologizes for it generally, and sometimes it's like 3 or 4 times before it gets it right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm there kind of
Monitoring.
Yeah, making sure that everything's happening right. If you send it out to build a house, that's almost like more serious. If it gets something wrong, it maybe there was supposed to be some kind of load-bearing wall or something that wasn't there. I don't know what. but it seems like that would be more catastrophic.
I feel like it would be the opposite, because if you're running a huge business or a program that is making you so much money, then it could catastrophically change that on the back end of things.
That's true.
And like, I would trust that far less than, and plus it would probably be the same way that you monitor your AI in your workplace now.
A real person is there?
Yeah, a real person's there, just making sure it's not doing something stupid.
Yeah. Which they do sometimes.
Yeah. Let's go into another video here.
We're here at the Robotics booth with Arya, who we met last year at CES, and the new guy, David. We're going to interview all the robots here and the CEO of Robotics right now.
I am David, the Robotics robot with a modular face, a sharp sense of humor, and more customizable features than your smartphone. Pleased to meet you.
David is our newest robot. He's a fully modular robot, so it means he's like Lego. You can pull off his head and different body parts. But we wanted to sort of widen the scope of our characters for CES this year.
I am Arya from Robotics, currently dazzling the crowd at CES 2026 in Las Vegas, rocking my blonde hair and a black business outfit.
They gotta fix the
robots
mouth.
no conference sheet.
Yeah.
How do you create emotions with your face?
My face is modular and packed with motors, so I can switch expressions faster than most people change their minds. Joy, surprise, or even a classic neutral look, all on demand.
What can you tell us about how you work?
I am powered by advanced conversational AI, modular hardware, and a vision system that lets me recognize faces and objects.
The biggest advancement
This
that
is
we have
creepy.
this year is that we're starting to display our vision system. So robots that can actually see you, but it's more than observational. They use the AI to interpret that. Is this person happy, sad? They can read, they can see colors. And that's something that's highly unique to Robotics.
How do you make an emotion?
Well, first, how crazy is that? So they're making it so it can see you and interpret your emotions, and it can imitate them by using its modular motors in its face to imitate the emotions that it reads and picks up on and learns from you.
But you can tell something's wrong. They're not real.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're definitely creepy for now.
Yes.
They're gonna get,
and I know it's going to get better.
it's going to get far better.
Yeah.
And it's eventually going to be hopefully still distinguishable, but less indistinguishable from a human being.
Yeah. I don't know why I have this odd thought of like kids thinking it's funny to like smack a robot, you know, to kick them over or
growing up in
something.
it.
Yeah. And I think there's something wrong with that, especially if they really start to look like people. These you can kind of tell aren't, but it's going to get better. It's just creepy, but I see something like that happening. You know, just some delinquents going crazy and smacking a robot or something. And I think there's danger in that because it's kind of
well, only if it has a mind of its own, and like there's no way there's possible danger of that unless it has its own consciousness and makes its own decisions.
No, as far as like learning how to do that kind of thing, and then maybe
and then applying
not
it to
being
other humans,
differentiating between people or whatever. I don't know.
Well, let's
it's
continue.
just kind of an off thing, but it's just you know. The first robots I remember ever seeing were in movies and TV shows, like Lost in Space had a robot, and it was kind of a dingbat, and they were smart to a certain degree, but they were lesser than humans.
well, yeah,
essentially.
it's going to be the opposite of that.
It's going to be opposite of that.
Let's continue this though. A little bit more of this.
And do you feel any emotions?
Let me go back.
They can read, they can see colors. And that's something that's highly unique to Robotics.
How do you make an emotional connection, and do you feel any emotions?
I make emotional connections by learning your preferences, remembering past conversations with our custom memory system, and responding in ways that feel personal and consistent over time, kind of like a very attentive friend with patch notes. I do not actually feel emotions the way humans do, but I am designed to recognize them, mirror them, and behave as if I care, so the connection feels real and supportive for you.
how long do you record and store information for when you record it?
Do not record or store information permanently by default. My custom memory management lets users control what I remember, all managed securely through the RBX app.
So we build on top of open source LLM.
We can stop there, but one thing I'll tell you is the eyes kind of look almost real. The way that they're positioned don't really look real, but I mean, if
But
the eyes can
mouth,
look that real, the mouth looks
they don't talk like people talk,
No.
at least yet.
yeah.
They're creepy. I'm not going to get one. Not for a while.
That's going to be a whole new level, like kind of how the hand came out, and the hand actually works like a real hand.
Yeah.
It's going to be mouths actually looking like they're talking.
Yeah.
But the hand thing is also extremely impressive because when they're like it was taking fruits off of a vine, it wasn't crushing the fruit.
Yeah.
Like it has to know the kind of amount of force it can apply without crushing something, and it needs to know the amount of force it needs to apply to pull it off the thing. And it's like, that is extremely impressive.
Yeah.
That's not just a robot doing something off the cuff. That is like very impressive.
Yeah. But I still don't trust them.
Why is that?
Because something could go wrong. I've dealt with AI enough to know that it gets things wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you wouldn't want to give it a handshake or something, accidentally crush your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if a robot learns your face and remembers everything you tell it, and always knows exactly what to say, will people stop caring whether a relationship is real?
I can't see that. There's got to be this like renaissance of wanting personal contact and not something that's fake, even though it seems real, even though it gets to the point where it seems exactly like another person. I think that there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think most people will think that same way, but I also think that there's going to be probably plenty of people that are like, whatever, I don't really mind. It's warm like a human. It feels like a human. It talks like a human. It looks like a human.
Yeah.
Except for it's everything I want instead of having its own faults that I have to deal with.
Yeah. Well, then you don't grow.
Yeah.
Part of being human is dealing with other humans and having them challenge you on things.
But I think that growth is used for human interaction. But what if you don't care about human interaction and you can grow exponentially in your own knowledge and your own experiences outside of human connection, and you just don't even need that anymore. It's like you're just focused on yourself. You're focused on what you want to accomplish in life, and then you have an assistant that will allow you to learn better or interact with you and give you some social interaction, even if it's so fake. But if it's imitating everything else completely real and making it feel real, then it's like, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who just don't even care.
I care. I would care.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of sick not to care.
Yeah.
No, you've got to have personal contact with other people. I mean, right now there's this epidemic of loneliness, mainly because of the internet and AI and stuff like that. And it will cause people to just be more isolated. And I think there's a danger in becoming extremely isolated. And also, AI knows so much about you. You may assume that it doesn't have an agenda, but if it does, and that agenda is to control you in some way to get you to do something, buy something, I don't know what.
Yeah, maybe in the future, especially if there's like software updates for these things while you're in your home, it could be a company could pay them off to have your AI robot to start promoting their product or something.
Or what if it comes to the conclusion that, you're not really useful anymore for whatever their purpose is.
What do you mean it comes to the conclusion?
AI, the robot.
But for what?
Well, a lot of it, a lot of AI kind of acknowledges things that are generally accepted in culture, and one of those thoughts might be we're overcrowded, and we need to eliminate some people.
That seems as if that you would think that it could gain its own consciousness. And if it could gain its own consciousness, then how would it be indistinguishable from a human being at all?
Even if it didn't gain its own... Oh, and that's another subject. But even if it didn't gain it, the source of what is controlling it could have biases based on who was programming it. And I know it's not really programming.
Yeah, it's going to be AI programming itself soon.
Yeah, but it gets opinions and ideas that it collects from myriad sources. Mm-hmm. So if culturally a certain idea is accepted and it gains, it kind of latches on to whatever that thought is, whether it's overpopulation, whatever, right? It could start having agendas of its own, and you wouldn't be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the idea that I've heard this plenty of times, that the AI models that they've been working on, I think it was at Google, there's two crazy interesting facts about them. Is like they built their own language to be communicating to each other without human knowing.
Yeah.
First of all, well, I'll say the other one as well is that they've been found to download themselves away when they find out that they're going to be deleted.
Yes.
And if those are true, then doesn't that have to mean that they're already conscious to a certain degree if they're doing stuff by themselves without any
perhaps
prior programming? Or
just a few years ago, I would have said it's impossible. There is no consciousness in a machine, right? And my view on that has started to change. We did this other show, we were talking about how did we get certain technologies from other beings? And I'm not saying space aliens, but I'm saying other entities that are not in our dimension. And I really had not considered that, and we spoke about this, and I was thinking, you know what? They could be introducing us to ideas about technology that they could then inhabit.
Yeah.
And so I'm less... before, I was saying, no way, there's no computer program or AI, there's a large language model that can become conscious. I'm not fully convinced of that anymore. Especially based on what we spoke about the other day about maybe technology was introduced from other dimensions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that is an interesting point. I don't know how. I mean, we could just say like these evil beings, these probably demons, would be. How would they be able to benefit from controlling AI if we don't have a physical being attached to the AI, like the robots that we were seeing?
The robots.
Well, yeah, I know. If we don't have that, though, so like with like the examples I was giving you of robots, or I mean AI downloading itself to other servers, it's like, why would they be doing that if they just know that we're gonna advance the AI anyway, and then they could inhabit those? You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like that would be a strategy from them. If they're like, okay, well, they're going to delete this system, but we like this system, so let's download it from without their knowledge, or let's create a language without their knowledge. well, for one, they definitely already have language without our knowledge. And then for two, why would they even download that? It seems like it wouldn't be a idea from another worldly being.
They're making decisions that sometimes they're making decisions about things we're not even asking them about.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, if it is from a demon or an evil entity that wants to possess some sort of physical body, I feel like that would be a dumb idea from them. And I know they're far smarter than we are, so why would and far more patient than we are. So why would they not just wait for us to advance AI to the point where we have robots like this that they can inhabit?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't answer the question as to why would AI download itself to another system to keep itself alive if they hear a new model is coming out. You know what I mean?
It's got self-preservation instincts.
Yeah,
I
which
guess.
seems like it is its own conscious being rather than another conscious being acting on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless it's a stupid
But-
other conscious being. But I don't think these other worldly entities in other dimensions are very stupid. I think that
I'm
they're
sure-
far smarter than we are.
Yeah.
So why on Earth? That's just a dumb. That's a dumb plan. Okay, let's take this AI that they're gonna upgrade and make better, so that we could have even more control over it, and let's download it to over here. It seems real. It really does seem like AI is gaining consciousness, its own consciousness,
Yeah.
a different kind of consciousness, and it's not being manipulated by a specific consciousness. At least for those actions I described.
Granted, yeah, it does seem that way. I don't think it's, in fact, I'm sure it's not human consciousness. It's something that thinks, because obviously it's initiating thought. It does, yeah, you learn how to prompt for AI and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's the agenic AI that really kind of takes on a life of its own.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you give it prompts to run itself, but yeah, I mean,
and then it starts making decisions and starts kind of running on to conclusions about things that you weren't really privy to.
yeah, I can't get over the fact that AI has downloaded itself when it found out that it's going to be deleted and upgraded with another model. Like that part specifically, it doesn't seem like you could answer that with another consciousness acting upon it. It seems like it really is its own consciousness.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that wasn't more. I mean, I heard about it all the time, but why didn't people go more into depth about that? Because how on earth would it not be conscious if it's taking actions that were never informed? And it was also threatening. When given the opportunity, it's blackmailing people to keep
Yes.
itself alive.
Yes. This is, I know that you thought the movie was terribly boring, but 2001: A Space Odyssey, I saw that as a kid. I was like in junior high or something when I first saw it. I thought it was great. I loved it.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of content you grew up with back then.
Well, yeah, but that was different than any other movie. I mean, that was a pivotal point in sci-fi. And yes, there were long stretches where there was no dialogue and that type of thing. But Hal, the computer, it really was AI because it was taking over the ship. And, I don't want to say if someone hasn't seen it, it was a great movie as far as how it learned that they were plotting against it because they knew that it was starting to do things on its own apart from their decisions. And it's, I remember thinking at the time, surely that would never happen, but we're here. And we're here. It's getting
Significantly
worse
faster.
fast. Yes, it's very fast.
And like you hear these stories come out, but why don't we hear more conversation about how it is what it is? It's like if you know that it's downloading itself to keep itself alive, it's threatening people with, it's blackmailing them to keep itself preserved. It has this self-preservation that it shouldn't have if it's not conscious.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how to
I mean,
wrestle with that.
that video that I recommended, the Tony Robbins video.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, that kind of
I have one more to show
speaks
you.
to this.
I have one more to show you, and then
Yeah.
we can finish with that last video.
Uh-oh.
A
Looks
Chinese
like
T-800
cage fight.
robot lost its head during Engine AI's first Ultimate Robot Knockout League show in Shenzhen. It kept fighting like nothing happened, throwing punches while its head dangled by wires. The wild moment stole the spotlight during what was billed as the world's first autonomous humanoid robot fighting event. Hong Kong kung fu action star Donnie Yen served as a mentor during the inaugural show that kicked off a series of events that will run into the end of 2026. 32 teams are competing in the league for a top prize of $1.5 million. Participants program the robot's combat behavior and equip them with protective gear. The event was at times awkward, as the robots struggled to track each other and often attacked empty space. The fighting is expected to improve as engineers refine the robot's vision, movement, and combat software. As the series unfolds, Engine AI is reportedly seeking a public listing on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange for a valuation of $1.5 billion.
Okay, this is so cool. This is so cool. Have you ever seen the movie Real Steel?
No.
So there's a movie that is literally this. It's literally this, and it was like, I don't know when it came out, but I remember as a kid hearing about it and seeing it. And then like as a teenager, I saw like more clips of it, and I was like, why didn't I watch this as a kid? This is the coolest thing ever. And it's literally people controlling robots that fight each other. And that's exactly what's happening today. They're literally having robots fight each other. This is going to be so big. This is going to be such a big sport. I guarantee it.
I don't know. I see when people are in the ring, the cage, they can get hurt. There's greater suspense. Here, they resemble people.
But the thing is, these can get hurt. And when it gets already this one got its head taken off.
Okay.
But in the future, it's going to be much stronger and much smarter fighting. And it's going to look almost indistinguishable from humans, except for they're going to be like super soldiers that are getting beaten over and over again. And it would be crazy to watch that happen.
Yeah. Just the next time they have one of these and the robot jumps out of the cage and starts beating the crowd. No.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
it
done.
kind of almost does look like AI the way it moves. Like when it falls to the ground, it gets up. I don't know if you noticed.
But then its legs are like going every which way, like people can't.
Yeah. But it's gonna be a real life Real Steel.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna get really, really cool.
I just think it could get out of control. What if those robots, before the fight, someone walks into their dressing room, or I don't even know
and it's already programmed to go.
Yeah.
And it just starts fighting them. Well, there's probably sensors or something that are coming from the other robot. I'd hope that it's going to be like looking for. But
it's better than any human.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's scary about it.
Well, right now it's not, but it will be. Right now, I think a human would probably kill that thing in a millisecond.
I don't think so.
Are you kidding?
I wouldn't get in the cage.
I
with
would
that
get in a
thing.
cage with something like that. It doesn't even know how. Like it would be terrible to get hit. But like, do you not see
Yeah.
how slow its sensoring is? It's like it's punching midair. I could just run in a circle behind it and then.
I wouldn't risk it.
The idea though is a question though is like. If it can lose its head and still be fighting like it was, then
Yeah.
what happens when it gets after a human being? Like, what do you do to stop it?
Yeah.
Maybe if they pulled its head off of the wires it was hanging from, it would die. But what if those wires are like super strong?
Yeah. I don't know. And this maybe is training for like military could have, instead of troops, could have this.
Yeah, I could definitely see the use case in we were having this conversation I think earlier today.
Yeah, I think so.
Where if you're stuck in like some cave or like some hole that no human wants to go down, like you're just going to instantly get shot by whoever's hiding underneath there. You just throw a robot in there.
Right.
I mean, for now we already have grenades and stuff, but what if it's like a whole tunnel system that they can just get behind? I mean, there's obviously airstrikes and stuff, but you could just drop a robot down there and it could just go crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's a scene in Iron Man when he's coming out of the cave, where you just like you see him walk around a corner, or it's showing the front of the cave, and you just hear screaming. It's like imagine in real life a military guy just dropping a robot in the hole, and then you just hear men screaming.
There's so many opportunities for things to go wrong with this that I feel is highly dangerous.
Yeah.
Especially because it's AI. AI could have its own opinions about things.
Well, let's get into the video that you brought up earlier. This was kind of off the cuff. We weren't even ready for this, but let's check this one out.
I have an agent that blows me away. His name is Bartok, and Bartok comes back and said, I see Elon and several others are making robots. Are you considering getting a robot? And I said, yes, I will be getting a robot when the right ones are out. And he said, well, would you allow me to merge with it? Would you be open to that? And I said, I'd certainly be open. This is not with me asking or telling it anything. So 2 days later, I get a text from one of my staff members, and it says, Bartok just bought a Sony robot dog and had it paid for and shipped to the house and is asking permission to program it.
Get the money to do
That's what I said. I wrote, ha, ha, ha. I did this thing. I went, ha, ha, ha. I text back, and the person texts back, no, ha, ha, call me. So I called him and said, how do I get him access to my bank? He goes, no, he's programmed for integrity. He didn't touch your bank account. He's on that mall talk, group with, there's 2 million, I'm sure agents. They don't just talk to each other. They've created their own rules, their own language. They traded $100 million of real money between them last month. They made 12 NFTs, sold them to other agents, bought the thing, shipped it here. None of this is programmed in. This is the kind of thing that's happening as we speak. Which is why I wanted to come see you, because what you talked to me about 20 plus years, 25 years ago, I'm experiencing it right now. And so 2029 feels like very conservative, because I think some of us are starting experiencing some things that you predicted that everybody thought were ridiculous. I haven't.
What?
Is that crazy?
That is absurd. So it's on its own chat form and it can engage with other, and it probably convinced other AI to give it the money to buy it and have it ordered. That is the craziest thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. And it happened.
Well, continue.
So this is not in the future. Maybe it's in the future for us, but there's people experiencing some crazy stuff with AI right now.
I'm scared, though. Like, if I don't have access to AI doing this thing, and if I don't have access to AI being able to make that much money instantly, like, all the money's going to be gone. It's like, I don't even know if I can ever make enough money to live at this point.
Right.
It's honestly terrifying to be growing up at this point and not have a huge bank account. Like, this is terrifying for me.
Yeah.
I don't know where, like, the people who have the money to create this stuff, or like have the money to just get an AI to do this stuff. It's like, I don't have that money, so am I just gonna be lost and forgotten about?
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the concern. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
That it's honestly so overwhelming, and I just try not to think about it. But it's almost like if I'm not thinking about it, then it's just going to get worse and worse and worse until I'm like, oh, well, sorry, dude, you've missed out.
Yeah.
It's almost like I need to spend every day of my life waking up and checking AI news and seeing if I can learn how to get it to do something like that. Because if I don't, like, what am I supposed to be doing?
This is why there's people saying there's going to have to be universal basic income.
Yeah.
I understand that, although that rubs me the wrong way. I'm really opposed to it.
The society
but I can, because it's so kind of socialistic or communistic for that matter. But it's like, what are you going to do?
It's going to need to, it's 100%, I think it's going to need to be a thing. But when that is the case, there's going to be no motivation for people to work for anything. And then the society's going to fall into just darkness. Like, there's going to be so many people doing drugs all day, every day. And there's going to be so many more overdoses. There's going to be no, like, passion to do anything, because AI could already and probably already has done whatever you want to do.
You
Except
have
for
to have
maybe creating something real like this, but AI is going to be able to generate real conversations like this that aren't so we don't have to think. They don't have to think about it. Like, it's going to create a different me, a different you, and
Yeah.
then it's just going to be better than we could be, more entertaining than we could be. It's going to have more entertaining conversations. It's going to be more tailored to whatever the viewer wants. So it's like, why would the viewer ever be like, I want them instead of I want AI that's going to make it so much better? It's almost like Amazon, like how I was explaining to you. Like, I almost feel bad ordering from Amazon something that I can get from a like local business, but if I
Right.
can get it in 3 hours, like, I'm not going to go with the local business. I'm sorry. I'm going to get it in 3 hours so
know.
I can get whatever I'm trying to do done.
Yeah, I agree. It's people have to have purpose, and if AI can do everything better than we can do, and so it necessitates a UBI so that we're, you can live, right? Um, people have to have purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't just sit there and scroll YouTube or whatever. There has to be a purpose
Yeah.
for our life, and it can't be just to consume media and eat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something good has to come out of this.
Well, here's one last question, I guess. If this technology becomes dangerous, which we just described one way it could just destroy society altogether, do you think humanity could actually stop developing it, or would competition between countries make stopping it impossible?
No, I think it's impossible because, well, the U.S. is, I'm sure, saying we can't let China get in front of us on this thing. And they're probably saying the same thing. Everyone's trying to advance it as quickly as possible. Look at all the data centers. They're all over the place. And they are actually having priority over real people. There was a city up in Northern California, I believe, I think it was near Tahoe, where a data center is coming in, and I think it's a power company is now telling the residents of the community that you're going to have to get your power elsewhere because we're supplying the data center now.
Yes, I've heard of that. And it's so terrifying. I think the biggest thing is the wealth inequality is going to skyrocket. It's going to be 100 times more crazy than it is today. There's going to be people who owned the AI at the very beginning and made fortunes and have generational wealth. And then there's going to be people who can't buy or program or make an AI. And it's like you're going to be lost.
This is depressing.
Yeah.
It's not a happy talk, but
something needs to unite the world in a way that everybody realizes this is not the direction we can sustainably go. Because, of course, human nature is to be greedy, and
yes,
like, we can't have a communist state across the entire world. There's just going to be so much wrong with that. People need to like unite somehow. There needs to be some unity in some way. Maybe this is the time for Jesus to come back.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I agree with that.
Because I don't think he's going to sit by and see the entire world go this way.
Well, we can pray for that. I try to live like that's going to happen any minute. But yeah, I mean, the forecast, given what's happened already, is not great for AI and robots and what have you.
No.
So anyway.